Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Wave City, and welcome to Urban Branding 101. This is an intro guide I put together to a strategy I designed for myself and other individuals who wanted to break in branding, who associate themselves with urban culture. It covers several principles that I feel are necessary to break in a lifestyle branding. The first principle is influence, using influence from a persona you design to build momentum for your brand. Second is entertainment, using entertainment to grow your audience and develop your brand's name. Third is culture, building a brand culture around the multi-step problem your brand solves. Then there's branding and marketing, finding the right products and tools and services for your clients and putting your culture style on your delivery. And last but not least, there's live branding events where you sell your products to individuals in your established culture at exciting lifestyle events. This is just an intro guide, and there's much more to come. Enjoy. What's going on? It's your boy Wave City, and I'm here with Urban Branding 101. And this is the first chapter, Successful Business Principles, part one. And so we're going to get right into it. The first principle is building your business lane. What is building your business lane? A business lane is solving a specific problem within a general industry with a specific style, targeting a specific customer. When would you need a business lane? A person would need a business lane when they first breaking into business and they do not have an audience, resources, or network to compete with more established businesses. Where do you put a business lane? You place a business lane principles inside your overall strategy and use it as a tool or guide for your setup. Why do I need a business lane? If your brand does not have momentum, it cannot compete with established brands. You will need to stand out in your industry to get your momentum started. How do I build a business lane? You create parameters for yourself around the style of business, the problem you're going to solve, the audience you're going to target, the culture you're going to represent, and all your business choices must align with these principles. So I'm going to give you an example. You got this person who wants to break into the dental industry. So instead of targeting general dental supplies, which is a pretty competitive industry, they built a business line. So they started off with a specific problem, the problem of a person having challenges with their dental care routine in the morning. Then they targeted general industry, which is dental hygiene industry. Then they targeted a specific style and level, which is high end. Then they put a specific culture on it, which was Southern culture. Then they had an audience, targeted a specific audience, adolescents from, let's say, kindergarten to sixth grade. All business choices must align with these principles. That's a business lane. Now you have your second principle, diversification. What is diversification? Diversification is a business design tool where you target different markets with the same business setup as a competitive advantage. When should you use diversification? When you don't have the resources, credibility, or network to compete with big brands. Where would you use diversification? In the market you target, and the tools, products, services you sell, as well as the audiences you target. Why would you want to diversify your brand? Because the best way to compete with big business and established brands is to target a diversity of specialized markets that are too small to be worth a larger business's time. How do you diversify your brand? You target different markets with the same business setups that do not conflict with each other, meaning targeting a specific audience market will draw a number of customers from that specific market. Targeting a specific problem market will draw customers from that market. Targeting a specific culture market will draw customers from that market. By themselves, each of these markets is too small. Together, they represent a larger market. Let me give you an example. You own a lifestyle brand that helps people from hip-hop culture master golf. So you are targeting these individual markets collectively to represent your brand. So you got market one. You target people breaking into golf for recreation. That's a lightly competitive market. Market two. You target anyone who needs golf supplies. That's a very competitive market. Market three. You target anyone who loves hip hop. That's a mildly competitive market. Market four. You target male urban millennials. That's a mildly competitive market. Collecting several customers from each of these target markets will compound into a larger audience over time. That's diversification. The next principle, general specific strategy. What is the general specific strategy? The general specific strategy is having a long-term goal of breaking into a general but competitive industry. But you're going to start out targeting a specific problem within the industry so you can quickly become an established influencer within the industry. When do you need a general specific strategy? When you want to break into an industry but you don't have the resources, network, or audience to compete. Where do you break into business through the general specific strategy? You take a general industry and you look for lifestyle holes. By that I mean lifestyle needs that are not being satisfied. Why would you use a general specific business strategy? Because all you have to do is break into any industry, is get your momentum started. Having any size audience within that industry will establish influence. This is how you get your momentum started. How do I apply general specific strategy? First, you pick an industry where you have interest and passion. Then you look for a problem that you face regularly. It could be a personal lifestyle problem or a career advancement problem. It could be something new or something you've already mastered. And then you use the solution to that problem as the core value of your brand provides. I'm going to give you an example. You want to break into the application solution industry. You want to sell these services and tools, but you don't have the resources to compete. So then you would pick a specific problem in a smaller market within the application solution industry, like how to keep up with iOS upgrades amongst different apps and devices. Master the solution to this problem by having answers to all variations to the problem. Then begin selling solution-based products to an audience that has that specific problem, meaning sell other people's stuff in the beginning. As your reputation builds, you can now develop your own applications to sell to your audience because you've established yourself in your industry. Okay, the next principle, layers. What are business layers? Different components and aspects to your business's design that make your business richer but don't cost your customer more time or energy. It's like substance, business substance. When is it a good time to insert business layers? When you're coming up with your original business strategy or plan, because first impressions are everything. But layers can be inserted to your business at any time. Where would a customer find business layers? Business layers can be found throughout the design of any brand. Some are tangible, some are intangible, but all affect the customer's experience with the brand. Why do I need business layers? Because no matter how specific you are in your problem, or how successful you are in your industry, you are still competing. How do I create business layers? You look for high quality characteristics and other established brand designs, or you put yourself in the roles of the customer and ask yourself, what would make this experience more special for my customer? Let me give you an example. You have two new businesses, both sell pet supplies. Both are talented professionals who love their industry, but neither have momentum. Business number one has a nice storefront online that says we sell pet supplies and a bunch of great pet supplies. That's it. The next pet supply store has an interesting host persona with a very entertaining personality. They have a culture connecting people who live in big cities who have trouble finding exotic pet supplies. They also give out free weekly high quality entertainment that relates to the problem of finding exotic pet supplies. They deliver their product in special packaging that connects everyone to the culture. It makes their customer feel special. They also hold live events to teach people how to pick the best foods for their culture, for their pet supplies. The second person's products cost as much as the first person's products. The first person doesn't have to pay anything extra for any of these services. If you're having trouble finding exotic pet supplies, which person would you shop with? Those are layers. Principle number 5, audience building, the principles of trust. What are the principles of trust? All business really is 3 things. 1, a question, the customer. 2, an answer, the business, aka the solution provider. And 3, the trust that the solution will be provided in a pleasant and an accommodating way. The key word being trust. The 4 principles of trust are maturity, coolness, consistency, and discipline. When do I apply these principles? All day, every day. Whoever interacts with your business should experience these principles in abundance because you can never have enough trust associated with your business. Where should the principles of trust show up? Maturity and coolness should show up in the host and leadership of the business religiously. Whoever is leading and whoever is the brand's host. Consistency and discipline should show up in the products, services, and entertainment value creation religiously. Why do I need the principles of trust? Customers like being comfortable, which means they like making easy choices. The only thing people dislike more than making a difficult lifestyle choice is having their time wasted. How do we apply these principles? Well, maturity, which is respecting people's time and their principles, and also knowing the right time and place for behavior, needs to show up in the leadership and the host and any person the customer interacts with. Coolness, which is matching energy the right way, is expressed by spreading good energy to people who are loyal to your brand and going out of your way to make them feel comfortable and special. And it should be expressed the most regularly by leadership. Consistency is simply providing to your audience whatever it is you said you were going to provide, day in and day out. It should be expressed through products, tools, services, and entertainment. Discipline is being true to what you say you are in style, staying true to your core principles through highs and lows. This should be expressed through products, tools, services, and entertainment, and also the culture of your brand. Examples. So I'm going to give you an example for each one. So you have maturity. One of your audience members has a specific problem. It's a sad problem, but it's also kind of funny or humorous. This person invested in your business, so you don't laugh in their face when they tell you their problem. That's called maturity. Then you got your second principle, coolness. So you're throwing a lifestyle event, and people in your audience are making fun of one of your audience members. As the host of the event, you do not participate. That person is responsible for defending themselves, but that person also invested in your business, so you cannot participate. Coolness. I got discipline. Your culture market is conscious rap. Someone offers you a check to drop a dance song. To protect your relationship with the people who got you started, you're going to turn it down. This protects your influence and establishes stronger trust within your audience. Discipline. Consistency. You want to create a show for your audience, so you look at your budget and realize you wanted to put like a yacht. You were thinking about creating a show around a yacht. You look at your budget and you realize you can only afford to rent one yacht for one episode. But you looked at your budget and you see you can afford to rent luxury cars for 12 episodes. So you build your show around luxury cars, and then you just have a special feature episode with the yacht for one of your episodes. Now your show is about what you say it is, and that builds trust with your audience. Consistency. These are the 4 principles of trust, and they are important for establishing and maintaining an audience. Okay, next principle is passionate subjects. What do I mean by a passionate subject? Picking an industry and problem that is already a part of your lifestyle. Something that you really are in love with, something that you would be a part of for free. When should I pick a passionate subject? Before you even think of investing in an industry, you should feel like you will be interested in this industry for the next 10 years, easily. Where do I find a passionate subject? Look for subjects that are already a part of your lifestyle, and look for industries that draw you in, that feel like fun or they're exciting. The industry should not feel like work for you when you're building a lifestyle brand, at least initially. Why do I need a passionate subject? Part 1. Part 1 reason you need a passionate subject. For one, business is a long-term investment, and if you don't love the industry you're in, it will turn into feeling like a job. Part 2, reason you need a passionate subject. People respond best in support to realness and enthusiasm. So if people really feel like you love what you're doing, that gives you the highest chance of support. And when people hear excitement and enthusiasm, they get excited and are more likely to support. How do I find a passionate subject? Create a list of different industries you find yourself engaged in and test which one you feel most excited about. Comparing variables will always give you a stronger answer. Alright, now I gotta give you an example. So you got this dude. He loves comic books. He has experience in law, so he works for a law firm. But comic book culture is where he gets his high. So he stays at his job, but he decides to target the specific industry problem of lack of minority superheroes. He doesn't have the resources to build a comic book publishing firm, so instead he builds a lifestyle brand, collecting paraphernalia of the most urban superhero characters that exist, solving the problem of connecting urban parents with comic book heroes that reflect their culture, for their kids. He takes those resources and develops his own characters. He gets more support than he did at his law firm because people can feel his passion. He picked a passionate subject, and that translated better into building an audience. People felt his enthusiasm about what he was selling. And that's the end of part one. All right, so we in part two for business principles, and we're gonna get right into the next principle. It's called finding your style of people. What does it mean to find your style of people? Every person has a temperament or an energy style, and there are people who complement your style and match your style. You need to find these people when breaking into business. When should you find your style of people? After your business is set up, it's going to be time to start marketing. And that's when you want to express your passion for the problem you want to solve to your style of people. Where do you find your style of people? Wherever you can. The internet, your neighborhood, your job, your family, your friends, random people you see walking down the street. How do you know someone is your style of person? Because you have no momentum with that person, meaning you do not know each other, and yet you feel instantly comfortable around each other. Why do you need to find your style of people when breaking into business? Because the smaller your brand is, the less people trust you. And the less people trust you, the more you need the person you're asking to support you to like you. How do I find my style of people? Start off being real and organic. The people who gravitate towards you when you're being yourself are your style of people. Take inventory of the people who are most excited about you and support you the most, because other people who match these characteristics are most likely to support you when you're starting out. Birds of a feather. Side note, the people who support you when you're small are your style of people, and they're also known as your core audience. You need to be hyper loyal to these people who get you started in business. Example, you have this beautiful lady. She's at a coffee shop with a couple of friends for an event. She gets introduced to another person at the event and feels instantly comfortable around each other. There's very little to no awkwardness. They feel like they've known each other forever. They carry on throughout the night as if they've been best friends for 10 years. That's her style of person, and you need to find them. Principle number 9. Be respectful of your audience's time. What does it mean to be respectful of your audience's time? To be conscious that your audience has other things to do and other people to support other than just you. When should you be respectful of your audience's time? Anytime you ask for it. Anytime you ask for commitment from your audience, you should be conscious of what it is going to cost them. Where can you show respect for your audience's time? Throughout your customers, throughout your business design. Before you ask a customer to listen to your content, support a service, consider how much commitment you think your audience can give you comfortably. And that should already be designed into your brand. Why should I respect my audience's time? Because customers like making easy choices. And when someone is loyal to you, they want to support you. But if you overwhelm them, they will stay away from your brand and avoid the feeling of guilt for not supporting you. How can I respect my customers' time? Part 1. Look for evidence. Look for content that already exists that will probably appeal to your audience, and note the most popular time frames. Part 2. Have a clear content design. Put out the same amount of content every month so your audience can know what to expect and decide how much they want to support. So I got a couple examples for you. Example 1. You got this dude. He wants to make YouTube videos as content for his brand. He wants to do a lifestyle show, but he does his research first. He sees that his target audience likes about 7 minutes videos on average, because those videos get the most views. So instead of making 50-minute videos every week, which was his original design, he makes 5 to 8 minute videos several times a month. And then once a year, he does a big 1 hour lifestyle documentary and builds big momentum around it. He gets a better response because he respected his audience's time. Second example, you consistently, which is a principle of trust, put out 5 pieces of entertainment content every month. One of your audience members knows that she has the time in her schedule to watch 2 of your videos every month. Because you stay consistent, you don't cause her stress. Then, it's 6 months later, she needs to go on a vacation. You sell vacation packages. You get the sale because you maintain the relationship by respecting her time. Now you got principle number 10, 3 levels of audiences. Okay, so what are the 3 levels of audiences? Okay, now I'm gonna break each one down for you. So you got A, your primary target customer. This is the best customer to target in business, especially when breaking in, because this is a need customer, a customer who wants or needs your services but has no desire to master the skill or service or create the product for themselves. They want you to do everything. Now, customer number B is a secondary target customer. This is the level up customer. This customer wants to be on your level one day or wants to be in your range, but doesn't have the time, resources, or skills to produce the way you produce. So until they get to their level, they're going to use your knowledge to advance them. The last and most difficult customer is the advanced target customer. And there are 2 main types of advanced customers. One is the customer who knows everything you know. They're an expert like you, and they know everything about the subject and probably a little bit more. The second advanced customer is the happy customer. This person has everything they need from the person they wanted to buy it from. These are the 2 most challenging customers to target because the only thing you can offer them are innovations in knowledge or product design, meaning you got to have some innovation and expertise on your subject to target the one customer, or you have to have a brand new product that no one's ever seen before, or you need to create a stronger brand experience that caters more heavily to their principles and cultural style, so you're making them more comfortable than the other brands they support already. When do I target these customers? As soon as you open up shop, you want to target primary and secondary customers, but you always want to let advanced customers come to you. Why do I need to be clear about this? Because the language you would use in a guide for a customer who just wants to get the problem over with is different than the language you would use for a potential customer who has your expertise. Where do I target my customers? You target your customers throughout your tone, the language you use, and the level of difficulty of the specific problem you're solving. Meaning the more difficult it is, the more expertise the customer is probably going to need to have. How do I target the right level? You put yourself in your target's client's shoes. Think about how you feel when you're buying something you need and just want to get it over with. And then think about how you feel when you're buying something because you're planning on spending several years mastering it. Those are 2 different customers with different attitudes. You need to be clear about who your brand is targeting. Example, have this very cool lady, she wants to build a tech guide for someone who needs Photoshop for their business. This person does not care about editing, does not want to master it, just needs it for their business. If your content is simple and to the point and easy to understand, you probably have a customer. If your guide is filled with advanced Photoshop lingo, all these inside Photoshop jokes that no one cares about, you probably lost the customer. So you need to be clear about the 3 levels of customers. Okay, principle number 10. Stay on subject throughout your brand. What does it mean to stay on subject? To stay on subject is a foundational principle of lifestyle branding. You have to stay on subject with your content, products, services, and tools because you're looking to build a stronger, specialized feeling for your customer. That is your value. When do I stay on subject? Anytime you release or associate something with your brand, it must be relevant to the problem you solve, relevant to the tone of your culture, and must appeal to your primary audience. Where can I prove to my audience I have the discipline, a principle of trust, to stay on subject? Primarily in your content. Your job is to be entertaining as possible while making sure the entertainment relates to the problem you're solving. This should also be relevant to the problem you solve with the tools and services you provide, but that should take care of itself. Why do I need to stay on subject? One reason is the foundational principle of trust are discipline and consistency. which are super important. And secondary, you are looking to build a stronger connection with your audience. So if you get off subject, you're gonna weaken the energy. How do I stay on subject? You should have taken care of that in your original design by targeting a clear problem, a clear industry, speaking to a clear audience. Now all you have to do is check your content's products against these principles. I got an example. You got a couple friends. They have a business together that throws extravagant parties for little girls. One of the ladies wants to promote her new album on the website, but her album's content targets mature adults and has nothing to do with extravagant ballerina parties. She's just gonna have to let that one go. It has to match the subject. Anything that touches your brand has to match the subject, the level, the audience, and make your audience comfortable. So, principle number 10, your brand has to solve a specific multi-step problem. What is a specific multi-step problem? A specific multi-step problem is an open and closed loop problem, meaning if you follow all these steps, you will get some form of your desired result. Your customer will get some form of their desired result. A multi-step problem has multiple steps, which means it takes more than one step to execute. When do I pick these? Before you start designing your business, you need to pick a specific multi-step problem to solve for your potential client. Where do I find these? You start with yourself. You look for a multi-step problem in your life that's not being solved and causing a consistent amount of pain. Then you master it and make it easier for others. That's called value. You can also use a problem you've already mastered that caused you pain in the past, or pick a problem from a close friend or relative you trust and master that. But there needs to be clear evidence that the problem exists. The stronger the problem, the better. Why do I need a multi-step problem? Because single-step problems, another form of problems to target, are the most competitive industries to break into because they target the biggest markets. The more detailed the problem, the smaller the market, the less competition. How do I find these multi-step problems? It's just like where you use your own lifestyle to find problems to get started. You can also check with families and friends and then fine-tune the problem once your brand is established by communicating with your core audience. I'm going to give you an example. So you have a single-step problem versus a multi-step problem. So your kid has a tough time remembering to turn their lamp off every night. That's a single-step problem. It just involves turning off a lamp. You want to design a solution for yourself and turn it into a business. But there's a small chance that solution doesn't already exist. And if the solution doesn't exist and you create a great solution and you're not a professional NBA player and big business finds out about your idea, they would steal your idea, create a better version of it, and by the time your product hits the market, your innovation would be irrelevant. Now, if you target a multi-step problem, like toddlers having a successful bedtime routine, which is a lifestyle problem, there's a diversity of tools and services and products to accommodate your customer's problem. You could sell those better lamps that big business created to your customer who likes you way more. And once your brand got large enough to defend itself, you could then attempt to go after a single step problem, which is advanced business. Just want to be clear, single step problems targeting big markets is advanced business. Principle number 11, we don't guess, we test. What does that mean? In business, we are risking our time, our money, and our reputation. We want some type of evidence or proof that establishes confidence before we move forward. No guessing or hoping. When do we test? Whenever we want to risk money, time, or energy, and most importantly, our brand's reputation. Where do we test? Throughout our place of business, whether it's online, in person, through our content, through our services, any place where our audience may interact with our brand. Why do we test? Our perspectives are limited and we all have blind spots. Without evidence, you can't be sure that you're making a wise investment. How do we test? We test new ideas against products and services we've already developed. Our first setup, multi-step problem, will come from our own lifestyle challenges. Everything else comes from the mouths of our clients, testing new ideas against old ideas, and keeping up with industry practices. So when you first break in, you're going to use your own problem or something someone else gives you. After that, you need evidence for every new investment you make. Example, this amazing lady has an idea for skates with rockets on the back, which is a single step problem. People want more exciting skates. That's the single step problem. Just a better skate. Because she has a lifestyle brand that sells exciting kids' toys and also those events, which is a multi-step problem, she communicates with the mother of one of her clients. The mother tells her, there is no way I'm spending $700 on skates and letting my kids play in the street with rocket skates. So now she knows the concern of her customers are price and safety. She finds out through her younger audience members, they would do anything to get these skates. So she, takes heed to that advice. She throws events for the kids where the parents can rent the skates in a fireproof room approved by a fire marshal. She rents the skates out at her events and it's safe and affordable. Now it's safe and affordable for her parents. She then finds out she has another small market of adults who want these skates and don't need their parents' permission to purchase. She sells about 1,000 of those a year, but she makes the majority of her money from her exciting toy events and the toys she sells online. She didn't risk anything or lose trust influence with her audience because she tested before she guessed it, and that's why her business is successful. All right, we got principle number 12. Do not, and I repeat, in business, do not compete directly. What does it mean, do not compete directly? It means to find your angle. Never come at a business or brand directly that out-resources you and out-experiences you. How do you know I'm competing directly? You're losing. Where do I compete? Indirectly. That means you find a hole in the industry, empty turf, where that brand cannot cover that area without compromising that brand's position, and then you dominate that space. Why do I compete indirectly? Because if a business or brand has more resources, more experience, a larger network, a loyal audience, the chance of breaking through directly is not worth the effort. How do I compete indirectly? Like I stated previously, you have to find a piece of turf or space in that industry that no one is covering. You're looking for a lifestyle problem that is not going away, that no one is successfully dealing with. It's called uncharted territory. Example, there's this really big brand. Let's call them Walmart. They sell a type of tablet that's pretty inexpensive, but pretty reliable. And in order to make money, they need to sell a lot of them. You find a related lifestyle problem in your community. There's a specific cultural need this tablet does not satisfy. You design a tablet that fits a specific market's need, but you will only be selling a couple hundred a year. But you diversify, so you sell other products and services. So you don't need to sell 1 million of these. If Walmart decides to sell that product, who are they probably going to come to? You. Yeah, they probably didn't even notice. Good for you. If you tried to break in directly by competing with that product, and that was the only product you sold, you would have found Walmart's business level relative to yours. A couple people may get lucky with that strategy, but I don't teach luck, I teach skill. Do not compete with big brands directly. Look for the markets they neglect and diversify your products and services. Principle number 13. Cannot be afraid of being small on the way to being big. What does that mean? You can't be afraid of what people might think of your business when you start, so that you're so scared to get started because you don't have the same resources as others. When does this happen? When people are breaking into business, they get nervous that their breakthrough product can't compete with people who have been doing business for 10 years. Where do you see this problem? New business owners and people considering breaking into business. Why would I be afraid of being small? The new business owner sees the respect and attention and quality other business receives and gets intimidated. How do you deal with it? You break into business for the right reasons, solving a problem that's not being catered to. Then you think about all the people you will let down if you didn't move forward. Then you got to get a little confidence, and then you got to do what you got to do. Example, you got this dude. He wants to break into the event business promoting industry, promoting a type of artist that doesn't get enough respect in the industry. But there's a market for that artist. He sees the quality of the product of the top event companies and gets intimidated. So every morning before he starts his day, he reads his mission of who he would let down if he didn't follow through, all the artists who need that exposure. He focuses on everything he can control. Several years later, he still does not compete with top companies, but he's making a living doing what he loves and helps his favorite type of artists realize their dreams. because he wasn't afraid to be small on the way to being big. Principle number 14. You have to break your business goals down. What do I mean break your business goals down? In your mind, you have this extravagant vision of your business, but you don't have the resources or experience for any of those things. You have to break your business down into phases. When do I break my business down into phases? Before you even start working on your business strategy. Where do I break my phases down? At the point wherever you feel nervous, something you want to accomplish, you feel stressed or have very little confidence in that particular step. Why do I need to break my business down into phases? Because business is about business experience more than anything else. So you need to give yourself less to manage until you're sure what your level is and where your confidence is. How do I break my business goals down into phases? You want to visualize and record all your business goals. Match all your goals up to your current resources, experiences, confidence. Start where you're comfortable. As soon as you feel more confident, move to the next phase. Example. You got this dude who's excited about starting his lifestyle brand of helping young boys in his region compete in football on the next level after Pop Warner. His full-blown vision is to have a regional summer camp with top trainers, dietitians, and coaching staff, but his job doesn't allow him to dedicate that amount of time. So he holds weekend clinics to educate families on everything they need to know to prepare their boys for football on the next level. In the process, he creates a great network with coaches, dietitians, and trainers. 2 years later, after his brand has momentum, he has several years of managing business highs and lows at a comfortable level, he feels confident to move to his next phase. Okay, so we're gonna get into chapter 2, which is influence. Okay, the first principle, we're gonna get right into it. The first principle is number 1, you gotta get your vibe. What is building and feeding your vibe? Whatever you focus on gets bigger, and everything is energy. So to build and feed your vibe is to feed your energy on purpose. When do I need to do this? Every chance you get. Where do you find food for your vibe? Media, lifestyle experiences, your imagination. Why do I need to feed my vibe? Because the energy you express as the host is going to determine who is attracted to your brand and how your brand is perceived by others. How do I feed my vibe? You want to schedule time regularly just to look for new content to feed your vibe. And you also want to use any dead time when you don't have anything better to do, and feed your vibe. Got an example for you. You have this sophisticated lady. She has a persona that's conscious and a little eclectic to match her natural hair care lifestyle brand. So she has a collection of several neo-soul playlists she built on purpose. She listens to them religiously while she rides on the train. While she listens, she relaxes and stays present and enjoys all the envisionments that pop into her head. She is feeding her style on purpose. It's that simple. Principle number 2. You have to have a persona. What is a persona? A lifestyle personality or influencer is someone who develops a style within a culture consciously. Once that person's style earns a certain amount of respect, that persona has influence within the culture. When do you use your persona within your brand? Your persona will mostly show up in your content and your live brand events. Where do I develop my persona? That's between you and yourself, man. Chill. Why do I need to develop a persona? Because in lifestyle branding, you are your own influencer. How do I build a persona? You have to pick a dominant social position. Then you have to pick a dynamic style, and they need to match your brand's culture and be in range of the products and services you offer. Let me give you an example. You got this dude, he creates a lifestyle brand helping new producers find their audience. He wants to add an extra layer to separate himself from other competition. He already knows he wants to create a producers battle league where producers put up money and they battle over beats. They make it like a poker tournament for producers. He creates a persona that matches his brand. He's an aggressive host that always knows how to hype the crowd, and he lays his persona with being entertaining, always making his audience laugh. He decides to go with the tag, Beats Are Us. His brand is successful, and all the females want his number. Cause he got that persona. Principle number 3, you have to have a tag. What is a persona tag? It's a name that's different than the one your mother gave you, but it's the one everyone uses. When should I use my persona tag? Everywhere. Where should I use my persona tag? Everywhere. Why do I need a persona tag? So people do not get confused with you, yourself, and I. How do I get a persona tag? Brainstorm a list of 20 cool names that match your brand. Pick the coolest one. Example. You have this gorgeous young lady. She came up with the persona tag, Sexy Queen Forever. Some random person came up to her and called her by her government name. She did not respond. Principle number 4. The foundational principles of influence. What are the foundational principles of influence? Maturity, coolness, realness, style. Where should I use these? Anytime you're in front of your audience, live or recorded. Where can I practice these traits? Stop asking me where you could do stuff. Why do I need these traits? Maturity and coolness get you trust. Realness and loyalty to a specific style get you respect. Trust plus respect equals influence. If your audience trusts you and respects you, they will listen to your recommendations. How do I get these in my energy? Practice each one whenever you can. Got an example. This dude owns a lifestyle brand around helping people find homes. I think they call them like real estate agents. This beautiful couple he's working with wants to buy a home in a particular neighborhood. He finds a better home for them in an up-and-coming neighborhood that is being developed left and right. They're a little uneasy about the process because he has been mature throughout the entire process, not laughing and making fun of their insecurities, respecting their concerns. They trust him because he was real and let them know there was some risk involved. But he has strong confidence that the neighborhood is about to take off. They respect him. They purchased the home. The next year the property value goes up and he gets a bunch of referrals. They only made the purchase because of his influence. Oh yeah, and they like his style. He wavy. Principle number 5. You need looks, fashion looks, to match your persona. What's that? You have to get yourself a style. There are things you wear and there are things that you don't wear. Those are called looks. When should I use my style looks? Anytime you're in front of your brand audience. Where should I develop my style looks? I recommend you store all your fashion items in your closet. Why do I need my style looks? Because you need a fashion style for your persona. What is a fashion style? That's when a persona can guess what you're probably wearing before seeing what you're wearing and is usually right. How do you develop style looks? You put outfits together that match your culture, match your persona, match your attitude. Look for styles that make sense for your brand and wear them frequently. Side note, what if people make fun of you for wearing the same type of outfits? If they notice, it's because you popping and it's working. Alright, let me give you this example. If I ask anyone what Michael Jackson's go-to outfit is, they'll say black jeans, blue jean shirt, white t-shirt, black shoes. That's because he wore this over and over and at the height of his career. And this man had millions of dollars. But everyone can picture that look in their head. That's called style. Style. You should follow best practices from the world's greatest pop star. I mean, this dude had people fainting at his shows. Style. Principle number 6. You gotta pick your lingo consciously. What does this mean? As an influencer, your words need to have style too. How do I use lingo? Carefully. Where do I find lingo? Go to any culture and you will find that a group of people has a set of words they use to describe other words. The fancy name for this is dialect. The real name for this, lingo. Why do I need to be conscious about my lingo? Part of being influential is realness. So your lingo needs to make sense for the culture you represent, your style, and your attitude. How do I pick lingo? Try to be natural with your lingo selection. If you find yourself saying things that feel uncomfortable and you feel like you're stretching, stop. Got an example for you. You got this dude from the East Coast. He's a younger dude. He hears older dudes use the lingo word up, because he influences hip hop. He could use the lingo if he wanted to, but his core audiences are kids fresh out of high school. If he uses that slang, but it doesn't register with his core audience, he could lose influence with that audience. So since he likes the lingo, he should test it out before he adopts it for his style. If his audience responds well, he should keep it. But if not, he should let that slang go, because it could compromise his influence with his audience. I could get away with saying word up. That's because I'm old. Okay, principle number 7. You are the host of your brand. What does it mean you are the host of your brand? That means your persona needs to fit your brand. When do I apply this principle? When you're designing your persona and your brand, you need to ask yourself, how does my persona benefit my brand? If you can't answer that clearly, well, you need to make adjustments until you can. Where do I apply this principle? Wherever your persona is present, it needs to align with the style of your brand. Why does my persona need to benefit my lifestyle brand? Because your own influence from that persona that you design is a tool to build momentum for your brand, and it's a powerful tool, especially if you're just breaking into business. How do you use your persona to benefit your brand? You will use your persona to build influence for your brand throughout your content and your live events, and your social media marketing as well. That's obvious. Example. You have this very special young lady who develops a lifestyle brand around helping closed-minded dudes break into the vegetarian world because their girlfriends are making them. And their girlfriends told them, you need to care about your health. No, you have to care about your health. She uses her gorgeous persona to create an entertainment segment, creating manly meals and turning it into like status quo manly meals and turning them into equally tasting vegetarian meals. The dudes love her chill persona as much as they love the cool info she gives about vegetarian meals. She builds a culture connecting dudes who feel that being a vegetarian threatens their masculinity. She throws her monthly supper club, but half the reason the dudes show up is just to hang out with her because she's chill and they connect to her persona through her media. Let's just say all these dudes buy enough meals to be certified vegetarians. Her persona was important as the product itself, and it is in lifestyle branding. Principle number 8. Look for characteristics from your favorite characters. What does it mean, look for characteristics from your favorite characters? Find your favorite characters in entertainment. Look for characteristics you like the most and add them to your style. When do you do this? When you're first designing your style and as you're building your style. Where do I find these characters? Throughout entertainment and culture that inspires you the most. Why do I need this? Anytime you're building something new, you want to establish momentum using best practices. How do I do this? You find a character in entertainment you admire. You ask yourself, what you like about that character, and adopt those characteristics to your style. Example, you got this dude. His favorite movie is Friday Night Lights. He loves the character Booby Miles. He takes his favorite personality traits from this character, like work ethic, determination, elite performance, popularity, and takes these characteristics and designs it into his persona by mimicking the characteristics, practicing those traits and mimicking those traits throughout his persona until his ego adapts these traits. Now these traits show up in his persona. Number 9, social media presence is mandatory. What does this mean? You have to have presence on social media. When do you have presence? As long as you are the host of your lifestyle brand, you have to take advantage of social media markets as one of the most powerful and efficient ways to invest in your influence. Where do I have social media influence? All outlets are acceptable. Just make sure your pages match your brand style, culture, and principles. Why do I need social media outlets? Social media outlets are the best way to express lifestyle and the most cost-efficient ways to find your audience. How do I maintain social media presence? Create pages within your persona account and update them regularly. Got an example for you. Got this very attractive young lady that has this lifestyle brand around helping couples find great nightlife experiences that don't involve clubbing. Her lifestyle brand is already doing very well, Because she has a presence on multiple social media outlets, she's able to target a broader range of audiences. Then she directs those audiences to her lifestyle business page, and it costs her nothing. And the best part about it, she posts pictures of her persona and successful couples she has helped. That gets her audience excited and drives customers to her website. And has better conversions because she already has relationships with these customers through social media. So she has already established trust. Chapter 3 is entertainment. Principle number 1. When it comes to your lifestyle brand, your content is for your client. What does it mean your content is for your client? You're creating content to entertain, educate, and please your client. It is about them, not you. When do I apply this principle? Anytime you put out new material or content for your brand, it needs to entertain or educate the audience, but it needs to be added value to the client's problem or lifestyle need. Where does this principle show up? Anytime you're going to represent content or entertainment to your audience, this question needs to pop up. Who did I write this for? It better not be you. Why do I need to create content? Why do you need to create content for your client? Because it's a lifestyle brand. So your client and their problem are at the center of the brand. How do you know you're talking to your audience? Your content has your client's problem at the center of it, as opposed to you or your ego. There's nothing wrong with making lifestyle content, meaning videos of yourself. I promote that. It just needs to be relevant to your client's problem or lifestyle need. Okay, so here's an example. There's this dude that has this lifestyle brand around the problem of affordable bodybuilding. The only problem is he's a bodybuilder, so everything he writes ends up being about him. Now, it would be cool if he had only one chapter about his journey in his ebook to inspire his audience. But he realized more than half of the book was about him and all of his feelings. So he rewrote it because he read Urban Branding 101. Now he only has one chapter about his journey, which his audience actually enjoys, because there was only one. And the other 9 chapters are about the client and their problem, on what they should do about it. Whew, that was a close one. The next principle, you gotta have lanes. What is an entertainment lane? An entertainment lane is similar to a business lane. You create a set of rules and parameters for your customer, so your entertainment becomes an easy choice. When it comes to our clients, easy choices are the best. When do I build an entertainer's lane? Anytime you create a new content segment or series, you want to have parameters and rules around it. Where should I put my entertainment lane? Well, the principle is intangible, so all your parameters and rules for your content will show up in the content, but will not be separate from the content. Why do I need an entertainment lane? Because your clients have a lot of things going on in their lives, and if you stress them out with overwhelming choices, they will stay away from your brand. We're trying to be an easy choice over here. How do I build an entertainment lane? When it comes to creating content, a content segment, your segment should deliver a specific feeling, put your customer in a specific mood. Remember, consistency develops trust. Let me give you an example. You got this beautiful, gorgeous female who has this lifestyle brand around urban individuals who want to participate in the recreation of bowling, but they wanted to have it more of an urban appeal. She has this content where she gives bowling tips, has a DJ in the background, there's a bunch of wavy people in the background chilling, surfing. The content does really well. Then she gets this other bright idea. She wants to teach bowling history facts to her urban audience, but she creates a different lane so she doesn't mix it with her other content, which is already successful. Her second lane does not get good feedback, but because she separated it, she was able to take that content down easily. Didn't cost her anything. Had she mixed it with her other content, she might have turned people off and lost her core audience. I mean, these people look forward to that show. You have to build lanes. What your customer expects is what they should get. You want to try something new, you test in a different lane. Remember, your client is the star of the show. Next principle, use past media for inspiration. What's that mean? If you don't know what to do, you have to look to the past for inspiration. When do I do this? Whenever you hit a wall with your content or you just want some extra energy, where do I find these inspirations? In all of your standard media outlets, you can find almost any show or movie to rent in your big three. To rent in, you have your big three: Google, Amazon, and Apple. Why should I do this? You have to create a free entertainment and free value to build your audience. And if you hit a wall for inspiration, just look around you, look in the past. How do I do this? Pick a piece of content, write down your favorite characteristics about the content. You can even recreate a parody for the content as it relates to your problem. You could recreate stuff, but you're using the content more for like a muse to give you inspiration for whatever your next piece is going to be that you're going to create for your content. Got an example. There's this dude. He owns a lifestyle brand where he handles the rental experience for you. He'll find the product, pick it up, and return it for you. And all you have to do is give your credit card information. So he's going to find the rental spots for you. He also looks for used high-end furniture and refurbishes it and sells it to his audience because he trusts them. They trust him, so they trust where the furniture's coming from. He wants to create a new segment to entertain his audience, but content creation is not his strength. He looks back at old television shows to find inspiration. He chooses to end up doing a Family Feud parody around his type of culture, which is urban soul. He gives away a piece of free high-end furniture to the winning team, and all their trivia is around urban soul culture. His audience loves it, so he used something that was already successful, put his style on it, put a twist on it, and now his brand is doing well. Be clear about the maturity of your entertainment content with your audience. This is our next principle. What is the entertainment content maturity? If you have anything in your entertainment that is above PG-13, probably want to let your audience know. When do I need to be clear about my content with my audience? When you got some rated R stuff going on. Where do I let my customers know? If your audience met you with that content, meaning when they met you, the content was already out, obviously you don't have to tell them when you put more content out that's the same. But if you create a new lane and it's more mature than the previous content, there's nothing wrong with that. Just give your audience a heads up. Remember, realness leads to respect, which is a principle of influence. Why do I need to do this? To make sure you don't offend your clients by catching them off guard. How do I communicate this? You could send an email blast, just put a message at the beginning of your content. This new segment, this new show I'm doing, it has mature stuff in it just so everybody knows, because y'all are not used to me doing stuff like this. Example, this is a very nice lady. She has this lifestyle brand that solves the problem of expensive dinner dates for dudes by teaching the dudes to create really expensive dinner dates for their girlfriends and wives using, like they create it and make it for themselves. Her entertainment is a little edgy though, because she has this new segment where she shows successful dates from her meals, but the dudes do an exotic dance routine for their girlfriends at the end. So she sent a heads up email because her content is usually PG. Now her audience will open it up at their jobs or in church because they enjoy the content. They just appreciate the heads up. Next principle. Entertainment has to match the brand. What does entertainment has to match mean? It means each entertainment segment or entertainment lane you build needs to be relevant to the problem and the style of your brand. When do you express this principle? Before you even start working on your content, you need to ask yourself, does this make sense for my brand's problem or my brand's culture, and can I connect this to my brand's problem? Where do I apply this principle? To any content that touches your brand or you associate with your brand. Why do I need to make sure my content is relevant to the problem? Because when you get your momentum started, you're trying to stand out for a specific problem. You want to be known for solving that problem in all aspects of your brand, including your content. How do I stay on topic in my entertainment? Before you begin creating your content, you should look at your strategy and be able to look at your energy too, and be able to tell how the content relates to your problem and fits with your brand culture. If it doesn't fit with your brand culture, don't use it. Example, you have this lovely female. She solves this problem of women with small children having trouble making it to the spa. So she brings the spa to them. That's her business. She has this idea of showing really cool pools in her area, but she tests it against her brand problem and realizes it's not really relevant to the problem. So she changes her content. She holds a weekly at-home lottery in her area and records the winner. Whoever wins gets a free mommy daughter spa date, and she records it as lifestyle content for her culture brand, her lifestyle brand. This connects better to her problem and also connects all members of her culture. Chapter number 4, building your brand culture. You need to establish a culture around the problem. What does it mean to establish a culture around the problem? It means your brand culture should connect people over the problem or lifestyle need they share. When do I establish a culture around the problem? Before you even sit down to design your culture, you need to ask yourself how your audience will connect over the problem. Where do I establish culture around the problem? It's simple. Whatever the problems are for your audience, that's the connection point. Why do I need to establish culture around the problem? Because the whole purpose of the brand culture is to strengthen brand loyalty, to help your brand become more established. Culture is by far the most powerful way to establish credibility. How do I create a culture around the problem? As you're designing your culture, keep your culture principles you have on a piece of paper in front of you, just to keep you disciplined. I'll give you an example. You got this dude, he has this brand called Kid Headhunters, and it solves the problem of helping parents connect their kids to the right profession at a young age so they can start specializing and becoming competitive in the job market. So he needed a brand culture connect his audience together and build a greater bond. So he chose to connect his culture of the common insecurity of their kids picking up the wrong profession in the wrong field and how it affects their life in a negative way. So every other month, he holds a Headhunters Anonymous group where the parents can list out their insecurities and he posts this on his lifestyle page. This not only becomes information for future products and tools to develop, he also has a stronger brand loyalty because his audience is connected over their challenges, and that is translated into more brand credibility, which translates into more industry influence, which translates into business success. Next principle. Your culture has to add value to your audience's life. What is culture value? Before you introduce your brand culture to your audience, you need to know how it is going to make their life better. Don't ask anyone to support you until you're creating value. When do you apply this? While you're designing your brand culture, you need to ask yourself, how is this going to benefit my audience's life? And be clear. Where does this apply? Throughout the life of the brand. Why do I need to add value? Because if it doesn't make the person's life better, why would they be interested or why would they stay interested? How do you apply this? You want to look at the problem of your brand and ask yourself, how can I solve my brand's problem using culture? Example, you got this beautiful young lady and she's dealing with this lifestyle problem of introducing young girls to makeup and making it easier for their parents to control the experience while developing and selling her own line of kid-friendly beauty products. Of course, she built a culture because she's a lifestyle brander. She understands the audience will not stay engaged with the culture unless it adds value to their life. So she creates an online forum exclusive to the members of the culture where her audience can communicate in confidence about their insecurities with their kids using makeup. They share stories, show pictures, and give each other advice. This connection and use for the culture to their problem leads to stronger branding engagement. Next principle. You need a culture acronym. What's a culture acronym? You gotta give your peoples a name. When do I do this? You will announce your culture acronym as soon as you make your brand culture live. Where would I put this? On your culture page, email blast, content, paraphernalia. Why do I do this? The stronger the connections, the stronger the brand loyalty. Your brand culture should feel like an exclusive club, but it should be connected to your audience's specific problem. How do I do this? Create a list of the 20 coolest, most relevant names to the brand problem and pick one. Example, you got this dude who solves this problem of kids who need help with science projects and the parents who don't want to help them. So he does science fair tutorials online, sells products around it, and will even come to your house to help your kids set their science fair projects up. He builds a culture connecting families of with their science fair headaches. He knows he needs to connect his audience with the name, so he calls them Little Degrassis. He calls the parents Little Degrassis too, because they don't know what they doing either. The parents get a kick out of it. Everyone's connected to the problem, and he builds culture connection. He builds brand loyalty. Next principle. Pick a culture you will be proud of. What's this? The culture you should create for your brand should be one you're excited to be a part of. No funny business. When should this apply? Before you introduce your culture, ask yourself, would I be proud to be a part of this? Where does this apply? All throughout your culture. Why does this matter? One of the core principles of lifestyle branding is coolness. We don't play people out because we're not emotional. Chills. How does this apply? Before you put your culture page to your site, you need to ask yourself, do you feel cool about it? Do you feel confident about it? If so, proceed. For example, you got this super sexy lady. She's beautiful. She has this dope brand of helping couples and friends find classy adult gifts. Her top seller is this sexy bouquet, which has a beautiful arrangements of flowers and has adult entertainment products hidden throughout the bouquet. She has a culture brand, of course, because she trusts her wavy business coach. Her first design for her culture was a little too intense, a little bit past her adult entertainment comfort zone. So she redesigned her culture brand for this classy, sophisticated adult entertainment culture vibe. This matched her temperament way better. Now she's proud of her culture and proud to tell people she's part of it. If she didn't make that adjustment, she would have been hesitant, and that's not cool. When it comes to lifestyle branding, realness is a major factor. Only ask people to support what you will be proud of. Be cool. Next principle. Your lifestyle brand website needs to have a culture page. What's that? A page on your website that displays your cultural principles and your mission. When should you build this? As soon as you design your culture page, upload it to your site with your logo. Where should I put this? You could put it on its own tab or underneath another, but try not to have too many tabs on your site. Easy choices, happy customers. Why do I need a culture page? Because it's a source of value for your clients, and so you want them to be aware that it exists. How do I design a culture page? Keep it simple. Let your clients know who the host is, what your mission is, your culture brand principles, and anything else relevant to the problem. But look, nobody needs to know what your favorite chips or Cheetos are unless your brand is coming up with new flavors. Example. This dude, he has this lifestyle brand where he solved the problem of helping urban kids get back to school supplies around urban culture by making it easier for the parents by searching for these items and packaging them together. One of the top products he sells is he repaints kids' backpacks with their favorite athletes, rappers, and superheroes. So he has his culture around the problem. He put his culture page not thinking much of it. But what he doesn't know is one of his customers wasn't too sure about his brand until she read one of his principles. Kids can stay connected to the culture and still stay focused in school. She was sold, and she is now one of his biggest supporters. You have to have your principles so your people can know who they're rocking with. Okay, so now we're gonna get into chapter 5, which is branding and marketing. So the first principle is when you're breaking into branding and business, you have to target your style of person at the right level. What does this mean? When breaking into business, you have to target your sales towards your style of person at a comfortable price point. When do I decide this? I establish the price point before you even promote your products. Where do I apply this? To any services, products, or tools you choose to apply. Why do I need this principle? When breaking into business, the only people who will support you, people who care about you, like you, or you're the only one who has what they need. Your brand is not established. How do you do this? You post a range of products relevant to your problem. After seeing what your core audience's price point is, you need to look for more products and services that match your audience's comfortable price point. Side note, I know when you break into business, you want to sell $1 million home to celebrities as your first business. The only problem is those people don't rock with you. Chill. Okay, I got my first example for you. You have this incredible, sexy young lady who has a lifestyle brand of helping young people in high school and college put together affordable travel packages with affordable transportation and accommodations and discounts on events and venues. These kids don't have to wait until they retire before they get to go on vacation. She's fresh out of college, so she still has great relationships with some of her old college friends. So she goes around campus with a little fun campaign called "How Cheap Would the Vacation Package Have to Be for You to Go on Vacation?" She takes that price point, creates vacation packages around it, and of course they're selling because she sold to a person that relates to her or is comfortable with her at a price point that they can afford. And when breaking in a brand is crucial, your brand is not recognized. So you have to target that person. Next principle. You gotta SEO market and social media market when breaking in a brand. That's no question. So what does it mean to SEO and social media market? SEOing is connecting keywords to content to attract organic traffic from big search engines, with Google being the biggest. Social media marketing is advertising your brand's value through a diverse range of social media outlets. When do I do this? Every week. When breaking into branding, SEOing and social media marketing is a full-time job. You gotta find your people. Where do I do this? You SEO around your content in your social media market around your social media pages. Why do I do this? Because when breaking into business, marketing is the most important. So you have to find your audience on the internet until your brand is established. How do I do this? For lifestyle branding, where culture and style are as important as the products, your free entertainment is your number one tool for internet marketing. You need to match relevant keywords to your entertainment content, build your email list around your core audience, and use social media to advertise all content. Culture and brand value, always expressing how you're going to make your client's life better, which is the only thing they care about. Example, got this dude, he got his lifestyle brand of helping gamers make a living doing what they love to do. His market has big appeal and he has a great setup, but doesn't understand why he's not getting momentum. When he reads this guide, he realizes SEOing and social media marketing through free content is your full-time job, meaning you need to do it weekly, regularly. He offers great free content and connects it to his top entertainment keywords. He offers a free guide and only asks for the customer's emails, nothing else. He has built presence on social media pages where he offers free content and vice. Now he's getting in front of people. Now he's starting to build an audience. And he understands that establishing his brand is a full-time job. Once you set things up, the only thing you have to do now is every week go after your audience. All his energy should go to creating dope content around his clients' problems and letting people know he created dope content around their problem. That's free. That's his only job. There's nothing else. You need to be excited about your customer's success. What does this mean? You got to be excited about your customer's success. When do you need to apply this? All the time. Where do you need to apply this? Wherever your customer is. Why do you need to be excited for your customer's success? Because your enthusiasm for your customer's success makes your customer trust you and respect you. Because you're being cool and real. How do I show enthusiasm for my customer's success? In a cool, chill type way, of course. Like you can let your client know, I see you out here making moves, surfing. I support your focus. Chill. Alright, now I got my example. You got this dude, he wants to solve this problem of boring haircuts. So he has this shop. His shop is too live. Once a week he turns his barbershop into a movie. That's the day I went. When I got there, everything was fly. They had alcohol for your head and for your tummy. It was females in there. All of them was wavy. He had a DJ in there. He was live too. I walked in. You know I'm shy and reserved or whatever. He came over to me, too excited. He told me he's about to get me fly. I could record this whole scene for my social media, and I could get one free drink. Even though I found out later the drink was included in the cut. I wasn't even mad, because this cut I got was a scene out of a movie. I wasn't even excited about getting a cut. He got me excited. Chill. I will be coming back every 2 weeks, and it better look just like this. Next principle. Sign up for affiliates and promote other people's products for revenue. What does this mean? Sign up for affiliates. Sell and promote people's products relevant to your brand's problem. Relevant. When do I do this? Whenever you get ready to sell products. What you mean? Where should I look? Online for brands that sell tools to your multi-step problem. And then sign up for their affiliates. Why do I do this? Because it's a simple way to connect your customers to products they need around brands they trust at a price point they're comfortable with and get revenue for your business. How do I do this? Make a list of tools and services around your product, then any of those brands that have affiliate programs apply. Like any brands have that affiliate program that'll make sense for your customer's problem, just apply online. Example, I got this special person. She's a lady, and she's as beautiful as she sounds. She solved this problem of helping young urban kids who want to learn instruments but not interested in the music, like classical music. So she teaches urban kids how to use classical instruments but to hip hop music. She got my kids over here being classical and wavy. That's what's up. Her tutorials and lessons do fine, naturally, but she wants to sell instruments because she needs revenue to grow her business. Advertising, maintain a website, all that type of stuff. The process of drop shipping, which is a little intimidating for her. So she signs up as an affiliate to a producing retail site. Like they sell all type of producing equipment, instruments, pads, all that type of stuff, to sell her instruments. Meaning she promotes their site and they give her commission for each instrument she sells. This is an extra source of revenue as she establishes her brand. And she's connecting her customer to products that they actually need that's going to help them solve their problem. So win-win for everybody. Okay, we about to get into that final chapter. It's called live lifestyle events. And we're going to get into that first principle. As the host, you got to turn it on. What does this mean? At your event, you need to be live. When does this apply? At every one you throw. Where does this apply? Wherever you at in your live event. Why do you need to turn it on? Because that's your job. How do I turn it on? Be real, be cool, be organized, prepared. Be excited to be with your brand culture. Be excited about the tools, products, and services you will sell. Enjoy yourself. Do business. Surf waves. Okay, I got my first example. You got this phenomenally delightful young lady. She has this lifestyle brand where she sells high-end adult entertainment products. High-end adult entertainment products. But she wants to design a line that caters to urban culture. She throws several lifestyle brand events every year, but her favorite one, her most popular one, is this chic, stylish 70s lingerie skate party where all the ladies wear lingeries and afros. Who cares what the dudes wear? And the DJ plays a mix between hip-hop and classic 70s soul music. Now this is a true professional. She got her lingerie, her skates, her fro. All these dudes is being respectful because they understand this relationship is a business friendly. She's mingling, interacting with everyone. No one's getting special treatment. She's taking pictures with all her purchasees, talking about the products. You ain't purchase a product, you ate out. Now that's the definition of a great lifestyle brand host, and I'm very proud of her. You got your next principle. Insurance mentality with these events, please. What does the insurance mentality with these events mean? Insurance mentality means don't overdo it with your events. It's lifestyle, but it's business. When does this apply? At every event you throw. Where does this apply? To your budget. Chill. Should you have insurance mentality? You need to plan your budget event around the worst case scenario. Business is a marathon, not a sprint. And one event does not define you. How do I have insurance mentality with my events? Spend on your event when you can do comfortably, and you plan your event around that budget. Example, got this dude. He got this lifestyle brand that helping urban families get their camping skills up. He has training, tutorials, and sometimes he goes to the people's houses and teaches camping setups. So every year he throws this big camping event for his families. Not in the woods, but on an open field. And the families come out and camp overnight. They have music and food and show a movie on a big screen and light s'mores. This year he wanted to bring a live circus to the event. Even though his events already do well, he too extra. Obviously, it would be cheap hiring a whole team. It wouldn't be cheap hiring a whole team. So before he made the choice, he reviewed worst case scenario. So then before he set it up, he thought to himself, what if there was a thunderstorm and all the families got in their car and left? Now he would have already spent that bread. If he think he getting compensated for that dude sleep. Good for him, he had an insurance mentality. And he thought about the worst case scenario. He didn't act like a clown. Chill. Always record your events. What's this? When you throw a lifestyle business event, make sure you record it. When there's a supply. At any event you throw, where should you record? Well, if I were you, I'd pick the event. Why? Now, if you wanted to, you could kill one bird with two stones, or, meaning you need entertainment media, you throw a live event. What else needs to be said? How? Well, you gotta hire someone because you are the host and you cannot be recording the event. Got an example. So you got this dude. His lifestyle brand is helping dudes maintain their motorcycles in the most cost-efficient way. He has tutorials, he sells products, helmets, jackets, gloves. That's all I'm aware that they wear. So every year he throws a cookout for his bike culture. But this year it was a movie, feature film. They popping wheelies and doing a whole bunch of other moves I don't know the name of. It was special. Of course my guy recorded this. He read Urban Branding 101. So he had in his hands 17 minutes of fire. It hit the internet and it did that thing where it spreads all over really, really fast. I forgot what you call it. You tell me that his sales go up. Record all your lifestyle business events because you're a host, but you're also a director. Movies. And last but not least, connect your culture to the event. What's this? Your culture brand needs to be connected to the event. When should you connect your culture to the event? In your event design. Where would you take this? Where would you take this at your event? Why do you need to? The people who adopt your culture are those who are really your peoples. But them is bigger than the product or the problem. And when you connect everyone at a live event, that brand loyalty is going to jump because they already rock with you. How do you connect your culture at the event? You have to have something in your event design that ties everyone a part of the brand culture together. They need to feel special together. Example, so you got this human being. It's a she. Gorgeous, sexy, incredible. These are the thoughts that come to mind. She has a lifestyle brand. Of course she's an investor. That's no question. She's a host and a matchmaker. So she hosts city bar crawls, but she combines it with a dating matching service. She calls it 6 dates in 1. And at each bar on the tour, you date a different person in the group. And then of course everyone at the end picks their match. At the end of every one of these, she does an after party where all the members of her culture come out and hang out with her. Now, some of these people in her culture, she already put them in a relationship. She nice. So how does she connect her culture to the problem? Everyone in her culture to the problem. Well, she throws these events quarterly. So at the end of each event, the DJ shouts everyone out by their culture nickname. Now, it may not seem like a big deal, but it means a lot to them. And they feel connected. And they bring up her brand to anyone she talks to. They market the brand for her because they want to. And in business, personal referrals are gold. That's the end of this intro guide to lifestyle branding. I want to thank you all for checking out this guide. I'm going to be doing lifestyle branding forever, so keep checking for me. If you enjoyed the content, please support an affiliate or leave a tip. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Wish y'all nothing but success and happiness. Stay real out here. Stay cool. Stay focused. And most importantly of all, stay wavy.